Good morning, y'all. I'm back and I feel much better this morning. Uh, Women issues started my doggone cycle, so now I realize why I was so evil. Had a headache and everything. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I'm about ready to hit menopause. I'm not having no more children. So anyway, yesterday, I started watching this documentary because I was holed up in my room all day yesterday. I ain't deal with nobody yesterday. I'm talking about nobody. So I was in my room all day yesterday just laying in my bed. So I started watching this documentary because I love watching documentaries. I just love watching them. So I'm watching one. I started watching one and it was called Something's Wrong with Aunt Diane. Well, we say Aunt Diane. So I was like, I said, let me watch this. So it was about this Caucasian family. This woman named Diane, and her husband, and she took her 3 children. I think she had 3 or 2, and I think she had took like 3 or 2 nieces. No, you're doing good, baby. You can keep drawing. Draw whatever you want to draw. Just color. Tell dude I said stop being mean to you and let you draw what you want to draw, okay? It's Sunday. They go back to school tomorrow, Lord. So anyway, this aunt, she takes her nieces and her children and her husband, and they go like to this like cabin or something for the weekend, to try to relax and chill. Well, the next day, they all get dressed, and the husband, he goes his own way, and I guess he leave the kids with her. So she gets in the car, and the only footage they have of her that day is stopping like at a store. She walks inside this convenience store and she just walks out. Anyway, what she proceeds to do is she gets on the freeway, and she gets on there. So somehow she jumps on to the other side. So now she's going in the opposite direction, and she's going in the opposite direction on the freeway, going like 80 miles per hour. Okay, son. I'm doing a video, so y'all stay in there. So anyway, whatever happened, she was going on the opposite side of the freeway, like at 80 miles per hour, and ended up killing everybody in the car with her, except for one boy. He remained alive. I think it was her son. Yeah, her son stayed alive, and like it was 2 other car fulls of people, so it was like 4 other people outside of her car that she ended up killing too. So anyway, the documentary was basically about because they was trying to find out what would make her do that. So they were saying that they have 911 calls or like calls from the kids that were inside the car to like their parents, like, look, something going on with Aunt Diane. She driving funny, she tripping, she's talking about her head hurt, she talking about she can't see, and she's going fast, so they pan to like the husband and I guess the husband's sister. I think it was his sister or his sister-in-law. The autopsy report came back and said that Diane had over 10 cups of alcohol in her system and marijuana. Well, the husband and the sister-in-law was like, that's not true. That's a lie. She don't smoke marijuana. She don't drink. That's what they were saying. So they hired a private investigator to go and try to get the autopsy report and, to go take it to somebody else to redo it. But something was going on between him and them. Like he was, demanding like a whole bunch of money. So like he was like, I'm not going to give you the results without all this money. And they was like, we don't have this kind of money. So he was just like, I'm going to hold on to these results then. So, they started talking to the people throughout Diane's life, and they trying to see, what kind of person was Diane. And it was like, basically, she was just one of those headstrong people. She was an always in charge person. She never complained about anything. She was the person who always solved the problem, took charge of everything. Basically, she was like a perfectionist. And they was like, well, maybe that what was going on with her. So, as time going on, they go on to asking the husband, well, did your wife drink? And it was like, well, we would have a drink, a glass of wine every now and then, but it wasn't like an every night thing. And they was like, well, what about marijuana? Yeah, we smoked it on occasion, every now and then. But we didn't smoke or drink that night. There was no smoking or drinking that night. So, they're going to talking to like some of the family members of the other people who were killed in this car wreck. And the people were like, look, we forgive Diane. She's dead and gone. We forgive her. We pray for those kids that was in the car that lost their life too and everybody else. But for her remaining family that's still alive, it's going to take us a minute to get, to forgive them. Because they're trying to make it seem as if something medically happened to her to cause her to do what she did, instead of what the autopsy said. Diane was actually drunk and high at the time of the crash. See, the husband and the sister-in-law don't want the world to be like, she was a DUI, she was a drunken driver and she killed all these people. They don't want her to have that stigma attached to her. Plus, you can't get no insurance money when that stigma is attached to you. So they didn't want her to have that against her. So they was trying to just like fight it, like, no, they couldn't possibly be. And she couldn't possibly have had alcohol and weed in her system. I didn't think she did that. So then, like, they started pulling like doctor records or whatever. So come to find out, Diane had been back and forth to the dentist. Like, oh, my kids up in there cutting up, y'all. Diane had been back and forth to the dentist's office. I guess she had a problematic tooth that was bothering her, so she was going back and forth to try to get her tooth pulled or whatever she was having done. But she had went like 8 times within a year. She kept getting like prescription medication, and the husband was claiming like he didn't know it. So now they was trying to say that she had an abscess. So now he trying to tell the people, well, it wasn't I don't think she was just one of those people who got drunk and went out and drive. She had an abscess, so she tried to self-medicate immediately. So that was going on. At the end of the day, the woman they said her alcohol level was like 0.12 or 0.19. It was like that equal to like 10 cups of wine. And I was like, damn, she was getting lit. And they said that all this stuff, and even the marijuana, they said that she had high levels of TCH in her system too, or THC, whatever it's called. So it was like all of this stuff got in her system within 30 minutes to an hour before the accident. No, before she left to get on the freeway. So I'm like, the husband is like, well, she didn't do it. I'm like, either you was doing it with her or she was doing shit behind your back. Either way it go, it was in her system. It was done. That's what happened with a lot of people. We try to hide something from people for so much, and we try to be strong instead of talking stuff out, and then we get into stuff like that and leave the people behind confused. Oh my goodness, it was so sad because they showed, like they was playing like the 911 calls of the people who was on the freeway. Because the people on the freeway, like, they interviewed like 10 people who were on the freeway, and all of them were saying like, look, it wasn't somebody who was sick. Sick people, they'll be weaving, like if they have like a headache, or because they keep trying to say that the child is still alive was saying like, well, she was saying her head hurt and that she couldn't see. But everybody who was on that road with her that day and said, look, this woman did not swerve one time. She was going in a straight beeline. Her eyes were focused on that road. We had to jump out of her way. She was just focused. She was going straight, and she was going at like 80, 90 miles an hour. They said anytime she did, like when she was trying to weave against other cars, they say they could actually see the kids' heads in the back seat, like going like this, from her swerving to try to get around this car, swerving to try to get around this car. But it wasn't like somebody who was intoxicated. It was like somebody who was on a mission. So, they was all, they was playing the 911 calls from the accident, and it just broke my heart, because I guess it was like an off-duty cop on the scene. He was like, look, you got to get the ambulance here now. We have a major wreck on this road. And they was like, well, do you think we need the ambulance? And he was like, look, stop, go in there and sit down, okay? Lord, they in there crying. She crying because I don't know what they in there doing. Hell, they coloring or something. I don't know, kid stuff. But anyway, it had me so emotional when he was talking about he was like, look, we have fatalities. We have numerous amounts of fatalities. Oh my God, the kids, oh my God, the kids, they're so, oh my goodness, I've never seen nothing like this before in my life. I'm talking about a grown man. It was like a whole bunch of grown men and women calling in. Everybody is screaming and hollering. Everybody is just so devastated. So then they go to talking about these two guys, and they was telling about how they was trying to save the people that was in the car. Basically, it was Diane's car, because her car hit two other people, so her car rolled all the way down a hill. One car went this way and one car went another way. So the man was like, we go down there and the van is engulfed in flames. So they trying to open the door, but they couldn't get it, y'all. When they showed a picture of this car, I'm like, I see why it was hard, because the back seats, picture a van with like 3 rows. The back 4 seats were like this. So just imagine if kids were in those seats. Those seats were like twisted on top of each other, bunched. They were all balled up. So they were saying like everybody was stacked on top of each other and stuff like that. And, you know, it looked like everybody was dead. So when they finally got a door open, they said Diane fell out on top of their feet. Y'all, they showed a picture of the woman dead. Oh my goodness. You see chunks of arm missing, chunks of her neck, chunks of everything missing. And I was like, Lord, have mercy. I thank God they ain't showed them kids, because I'd still be devastated if they would have showed me those kids. Anyway, the man was just talking about how defeated they were till they heard somebody crying, and that's when they found the boy. They said that's the only ray of sunshine that we had out of all that death. You know, after seeing all those dead bodies and all those cars, we were able to save one. And the little boy messed up. He still had to go to therapy, like his vision messed up, and you know, he had some kind of injuries to his brain or whatnot. But if you get a chance, just go see the documentary. It was interesting. It's called Something's Wrong with Aunt Diane. And, you know, it was interesting to me. It was interesting how he was trying so hard to, like, put it out there. Like, my wife was not an alcoholic. My wife was not on drugs. My wife made over $100,000 a year because she was a director of something. She was a good person. She was a great person. And, like, one mistake that you make in your life can change your whole reputation. It's just what killed me. You know her as a good person and all the other stuff, but when they put it out there that she had alcohol and drugs in her system, everything that she had ever did in her life was washed out. Now she was just this woman who had 10 cups of alcohol and smoked a whole bunch of blunts, put some kids in the car, and decided to go down the opposite side of the freeway and kill herself, 5 children, and 4 other adults. So, you know, y'all leave some comments down below, you know, because I can't, you know, it was real sad, and it was heartbreaking, and it was informative at the same time, and make you look within yourself. And, you know, I cannot drink and drive. I just can't do it. I'm scared because I'm the only one here. I'm like, if I'm gone, who the hell gonna take care of my kids? So that's one thing. And I damn sure can't smoke no weed because I can't handle it. I tried it in my high school days. I can't smoke weed. It make me cuckoo for real. So I already know that if I was around like my boyfriend or my brothers and stuff, they already know if somebody try to hand me a blunt, it's gonna be, they're like, they gonna try to fight it because they like, man, do you know what's gonna happen when you get this girl some weed? She is crazy. She don't smoke. Don't give her no weed ever. Don't ever give her no weed. And I sure can't drink hard alcohol. I drink either some Moscato, or I would get a strawberry daiquiri, or I used to drink red wine all the time, but I cannot handle it anymore. It gives me bad headaches, so I'm off of Merlot. So it just either Moscato or strawberry daiquiri. That's the only thing that don't give me a headache. And a lime Rita make my stomach hurt bad, so I can't drink the raspberry Ritas no more either. So y'all comment down below and let me know what y'all think about it, or you know, this, and I want y'all to check it out. I'm gonna come back to y'all about some more documentaries that I watched. I'll try to let y'all know because I love watching them. I watch them all the time. So you know, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.